In this video, we're going to do a quick breakdown of the 5-paragraph essay. Now, this 5-paragraph essay format is something you probably learn in middle school, continue through the end of secondary school, but it continues through university, and it helps prepare you for having to write the longer pieces. Now, any longer piece you're going to have to write, ultimately you're going to be led into the designation of needing a different type of thesis. So, before we get to the actual 5 paragraphs, keep in mind that there is an entire other video where we discuss multiple types of theses. But, for our purposes now, the 5-paragraph essay format is introduction, first body paragraph, second body paragraph, third body paragraph, and conclusion. Okay? So, these ultimately are going to lead you into properly creating, or at least in the most minor sense of the word, allowing an argument to form. In the introduction, and please keep in mind for all of these paragraphs, you need to have a minimum of 4 sentences. If you have less than that, it is very rare for a student to actually be able to make their complete and full argument. But in the introduction, you need to introduce whatever topic you're going to be speaking about, any pertinent terms, any pertinent information that you're going to have to refer back to later, or any crucial information that simply cannot be escaped or is absolutely necessary throughout the entirety of the essay. So, you're also going to have, typically if you're learning this in secondary school, you're going to have your thesis statement as your last sentence for the introduction. Now, your thesis statement is your statement of argument. How you want to do this, typically for the 5-paragraph format, is you're going to have an assertion of some kind. So, Johnny exercised today. So, Johnny exercised today. Then, by running, swimming, and biking. Okay? So, the first paragraph is done. Your intro is done. You've established what you're going to argue, and you have established what points you're going to hit, okay? Now, the first body paragraph is your second paragraph. Your first body paragraph is whatever is in that first list that you just stated. So, Johnny exercised today by running. Okay, so why did he go running? Cardio, to help his heart. And you just establish whatever reason and whatever rationale or want Johnny could have had for wanting to run. Second, swimming. Okay, so you go into Johnny likes to maintain a lean figure or something along those lines. You start explaining why swimming is his second body paragraph, third total paragraph, why swimming is his second exercise opportunity of the day. As you explain that, you start morphing the end of that paragraph into your third body paragraph, which is ultimately your 4th paragraph overall. So, your 4th paragraph overall is I think I said bicycling. So Johnny was bicycling. Why? He enjoys the Tour de France. He just likes being able to ride around town and see how everything's going. Any of the above. However, it's also a good way to exercise. So you finished your first 4 paragraphs, all 3 of the reasons or means by which Johnny's been exercising, and now you have to hit your conclusion, your 5th paragraph. Okay? Conclusion, frequently, if you're doing this for middle school or high school, you will be told to wrap it up, restate that he was running for cardio, he was swimming because he wants to be lean, he was bicycling because it's a good way to socialize. But all 3 of these are ways to exercise. So you have that information there, you've restated it, but you are also frequently going to be told in middle or high school to restate word for word your thesis statement. So if you were in middle or high school, and this is usually for 9th and 10th, not 11th and 12th, you will want to restate word for word. Johnny exercised frequently today by running, swimming, and bicycling. You want to do it word for word. Once you get a little bit further along, you don't actually have to restate the thesis. Once you get further along, you touch on the idea, but you make sure you do not do word for word. Ultimately, what this is you've said it once, so why would your audience want to reread it? Sort of thing. You can see how your teacher is making you develop your concepts. Especially, you can see how your teacher is making you develop your writing. Now, other things you need to have in your conclusion. Why is this things like, why is this important? Why is this relevant? Why is this Johnny person important? That might be an issue that you need to reestablish if you put that in your introduction. However, at the same time, you need to remember that conclusion ultimately needs to be basically a mic drop moment. And by mic drop moment, I mean you need to hammer it home to all of your readers as to why it was actually important and relevant that they just read what you wrote. They just spent a portion of their life reading something you wrote. So, make sure they understand why it's important they actually did that. And that is what we refer to as your mic drop moment. So make sure you have one. Good luck writing.